All right, here is the key for your exam one, and this you can go through, you'll see this stuff on the final again, and of course the course kind of builds on itself a little bit. So go through and check on your test and check and see what you did and didn't do. I'll put point values on here so you can kind of see where you missed points. If you do have questions, of course, then let me know and we'll be happy to talk about it with you. Okay, t-shirt pays $6.50 for his t-shirt. The fixed cost $7.50. Shop sells the shirts. Let's see. So we're going to let X be the number of shirts and C be the cost. So then we've got C, or C of X, equals 6.50X plus 750. If you did this and did not identify the variables, I took a point off. Revenue function, R of X is 15X. Profit is the revenue minus the cost, which is going to be 15X minus 650X plus 750. And if you simplify that, you get 8.5X minus 750. Break-even point happens when your profit equals 0, right? When your revenue equals your costs. So that's when I just went ahead and did it. 850X minus 750 equals 0. So that means if you solve that, you get X is 88.2. So the break-even point is approximately 88 shirts. Now keep in mind, if you sell 88 shirts, you're going to lose money. If you sell 89 shirts, you're going to make money, right? So what does the break-even point tell the owner? If the owner sells over 88 shirts, he will start making a profit. Okay, let's see, number 2. Kathy's Coffee Shop spends $210 on fixed costs, 75 cents for each 12-ounce cup, and they charge $1.85 for each cup. So what's the daily profit? Well, again, X is the number of cups sold. So the profit is P is 185X minus how much it costs, 75X plus 210. Right? This is the revenue and this is the cost. And if you simplify that, you get 110X minus 210. Profit of 500, so P of 500 would be 110 times 500 minus 210, which is $340. Profit, they sell 100, it's going to be 110 times 100 minus 210, be negative 100, so it'd be a loss of 100. How many cups must be sold to begin making a profit? Well, again, that's when the revenue and the cost are equal to each other, or when this is 0. So 110X minus 210 equals 0. So X would be 210 over 110, which is 191. Ooh, I'm pretty sure that's a decimal. Let me check that out. Yeah, 190.9. So how many must be sold to begin making a profit? So she must sell 191 cups to begin making a profit. Okay, so everything on this page was 2 points each, is how I did it. Okay, and again, if you didn't identify it, I took 1 point off, not for every problem, just for one part. You need to make sure you answer this in the context of the question as well. Those are the two big things that I recall. All right, 3. Let's see, solve by substitution or elimination. You get to pick. This one I just multiplied the top one by 3 and get 21x plus 3y equals 96. And then when I add them together, I get 23x. Oh, that should be a minus 3y. Then these cancel. Equals 96 plus 19. So what is that? 115. And 115 divided by 23 is 5, I believe. Yeah, so x is 5. And then plug it into either one of the equations. 7 times 5 minus y equals 32. Negative y equals negative 3. Y equals 3, so my solution is 5, 3. This is worth, I don't have my, my key right handy with me, so I don't know how many points this is worth. I would have made it worth probably 3 points, I believe. One for x, one for y, and one for process. Okay, so multiply this one by negative 5. Negative 5x plus 30y equals negative 20. And everything cancels. So what does that mean? There's infinitely many solutions. Okay, in other words, there's lots of x and y's that make them both true. Again, 3 points each. Okay, solve using row operations. I also believe I made this one worth 3. So it was 1, 2, 7, 3, 5, 19. So I'm going to do negative 3 row 1 plus row 2 and switch it with row 2. So negative 3, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 7. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3 plus 3 is 0. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. Negative 3 times 7 is negative 21 plus 19 is negative 2. Then we do negative 1 row 2 and switch it with row 2. So we get 1, 2, 7, 0, 1, 2. And now I got to make this guy a 0 up top here, that position. So I'm going to do negative 2 row 2 and add it to row 1 and switch it with row 1. So negative 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2 plus 2 is 0. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4 plus 7 is 3. And then 0, 1, 2. So that just tells me that, x is 3 and y is 2. All right. Number 5, solve this using a calculator. So it's just a matter of putting this in your calculator. 1, 3, negative 1, 4, 1, negative 1, 1, 4. And if you put in your calculator, you end up getting 1, 0, 0, 3, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 2. So then that tells me that, and you got to tell me x is 3, y is 1, z is 2. Okay? So that's worth 3 points. Same thing on this one. You're going to put in 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, negative 1, 14, 3, 2, 1, 16, 1, 4, negative 3, 12. And if you do RREF, that's what you're doing on both of these, you would end up with 1, 0, 1, 4, 0, 1, negative 1, 2, and a bunch of zeros on the last two. So what does that tell me? Well, that tells me there's infinitely many solutions. And can we describe them a little bit? Yeah, the first row tells us that x1 plus x3 must always be 4. And the the second one tells me that x2 minus x3 must always be 2. So these are my conditions that have to happen for there to be for it to be a solution. Now, if I happen, you don't have to do this last part. If you happen to add these together, you get you get x1 plus x2. The x3's cancel, equals 6. So as long as x1 and x2 are 6, x3 and x4 can be anything. It's nice that way, then I at least know some of the relationships between my variables. All right, number 7. Okay, be systematic about this now. It says how many of each type of traveler. So I'm going to say X is the number of first class. Y is the number of business class. And Z is the number of coach. Okay, so what equations do I have here, or can I write? I need to write 3, so I'm going to use the total cost, right? So I got 4,700x plus 2,300y plus 750z equals 342,000, 342,000. And then I've got, there are 300 paying passengers, so x plus y plus z would be 300. Then the next one is the one that you got to be careful on. There's 4 times as many coach as first class and business travelers combined. So first class and business, how does that compare to the coach? Well, it says there's 4 times as many coach travelers. So there's 4 times as many of the Z travelers. So that means I have to multiply the other side to make them equal. Does that make sense? This number is the smaller number, and this is larger by 4 times. So I have to multiply the smaller one by 4 to make them equal. So then this becomes 4x plus 4y, and if I subtract the z, minus z equals 0. And I can go ahead and put that in my matrix. You're always able to do RREF. And if you do that, you get 1, 0, 0, 10, 0, 1, 0, 50, 0, 0, 1, 240. I don't want that, I want to know this. There were 10 first class, 50 business, and 240 coach passengers. Okay. All right, that was worth 4 points. Should that depend on what you did? You know, this, if you don't identify your variables, that's going to be a point. Got to tell me that in context. That's going to be a point to set up the equations and so forth, and a point to solve them. Is typically how I do that. So it'd be like plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, and plus 1. Is what I'm looking for. Okay, and number 8. I see a toy company sells, makes its best-selling doll at 2 plants. How many should be produced at each plant? So let's go with X would be the number of dolls at plant A. Y would be the number of dolls at plant B. Now some of you guys are figuring this out, kind of guess and check and kind of thing, which, yeah, maybe you can do that for these types, but once they get a little more complicated, forget that, right? Okay, so what do we got here? Let's see here. I need equations. So I know there's 900 dolls total, the 2 plants, so X plus Y is 900. That's the easier one. combined costs, have that as a budget. So what are my costs to make the dolls? Well, at plant A, it's 360 X plus 1260, right, the fixed cost. And then at plant B, it's going to be 330 Y plus 2637, and that's going to be 7056. And I can actually simplify this, and I'll write this as x plus y equals 900, and then I got 3.6 x plus 3.3 y equals, and if I bring these over to the other side, you get 3159, and so that's this matrix. And if you do RREF, reduced row echelon, you get 10630, 01270. It's going to say how many dolls at each plant? 630 at A and 270 at B. I should say dolls. Okay, there we go. And this, again, this is worth 4 points as well. And, you know, the same thing, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, and plus 1. All right, so check those out. Again, you need to make sure you're good on these for the final exam. Your final exam will replace this test if it's better than it. And so you got plenty of opportunities ahead of you. All right, there you go.